connect. Great. Let's unmute people again, because I just, in case anybody does want to share, or you can unmute yourself if you want to share, actually. What makes this day special for you? Maybe I can get one or two people to share. Let's come into the field together. Super special day. Okay, anybody want to share?
About this beautiful day, Sierra, but I'm here to see you again.
All the way from the Netherlands. Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, yay. Amazing. So this day is special for many, many reasons. And again, thank you all for waiting. We were having some technical difficulty with some of the music. And so we'll have to figure out what to do without that, but we'll maybe create our own music. But part of what makes this day super special is it's when Parvati or Shakti comes up to meet Shiva. And there's a union, a divine union that happens on this day. And midnight will be the time to meditate. So this is your preparation, or we could astral travel until it's midnight and feel the energy of midnight. And midnight also symbolizes the darkest time of the night, where again, Maha Shakti and Shiva can come together in the play of consciousness and energy. And we'll go more into this in a second. But if you zoom out and think about the bigger picture, Maha Shivratri is about the time in nature. So, excuse me. So in nature, this time of year in the northern hemisphere is the time that all of the seedlings in the earth start to come to life. So it's the time when the earth is thawing and energy is moving. And in the earth, these little seedlings are reaching up to consciousness. So it's where the energy of the earth is meeting the consciousness. And some say, if you know anything about what's called the Shiva tattva, which is the Shiva element, the Shiva element exists about 10 centimeters or 10 inches up off the earth. So these little seeds, Shakti is reaching to meet Shiva up here in the earth itself. So this also happens in our own body, where Shakti moves to meet Shiva. So let's just spend a second before we do more verbal things. And within your own body, let's just first start with feeling our energy. What your energy feels like, what our energy feels like, what the energy on the earth feels like right now. And let's spend a few seconds tapping into what that feels like. And for some of you, you can even breathe into what that feels like. Breath of Shakti. Mm-hmm. And this is a cooperative field where I'm going to invite people to share. And does anybody feel like sharing what their Shakti feels like? You can either type it in the chat or you can unmute yourselves. What does Shakti feel like in your own body, your own energy? Anybody want to share? It's a quiet group. Let's see if anybody typed in. Okay. Quiet, quiet. It's okay. Shiva's quiet, actually. So, but energy inside can be a bit buzzing. And again, we want to think about the bigger metaphysics of this day. It's the sun is coming more, and the sun, which can also be consciousness in a way, comes down to earth and starts this. So again, there's an upsurge in energy. There's an upsurge within us also, where our Shakti meets Shiva for enlightenment. Yes, nice. Feeling alive when tapping into this energy. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's alive energy. It's certainly alive. And what I love about group sessions also is that you all who know how to run some energy, I invite you also to add to the field, because this can be a Shakti field, an energy field that we're all creating together. Okay, so where the sprout in us as humans within our human bodies is usually at the tailbone. Most people know this in Kundalini understanding or theory, is at the base of our tailbone exists the seed, the Shakti, in what they call it, the coiled serpent, excuse me, was also a servant of energy. So for those of you who know what a Shiva lingam looks like, here's an example. So I don't know how many people are familiar with this part of the world, and meaning India, and what a Shiva lingam looks like. But this is one aspect, and the snake here would sit on where the base of the tailbone is here. So when it is coiled, it's stuck on the tailbone area. So everybody, if you can, just kind of, you can see me wiggling a little bit back and forth, wiggle a little bit. So you can start waking up that seat. Yes, thank you. I feel some energy moving. Beautiful. Looking good. And for those of you who are advanced already, you can just kind of start letting that energy come up. Beautiful. Coming up to meet Shiva. A little more rocking. Some of you might need to rock back on your seat a little bit, wherever it feels good to move the energy. Some of you might need to get into your butt muscles. They can be a little tight. And you can just use also your hands to raise your Kundalini up. Start to invite the Kundalini up, just like a seed growing up to the cosmos. Beautiful, beautiful, nice, good. Okay, for those of you who want to share, you can either unmute or type in. How does this feel? Nice. I can see energy moving. It's so nice. You all are doing good. Let's see if
Hi,
anybody types.
Sarah. My
Hello.
Kundalini is hi, Esther
Hello.
here. Hi. My
You.
Kundalini is very active the last few days. I only
Mm-hmm.
have to make my bottom of perineum tight, and it was. So maybe it has
Yeah.
to do with this Maha Shivratri. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
So good. So good. Nice.
Yes.
And actually, so what I'm inviting for the field verbally is also, so through one person, we can learn things. So there will be some group transmissions here or group openings. So thank you for saying that. And I'm going to try to stand up. I've got some tight space here, but part of what you're saying is that, Esther, is that, and I apologize for not having my face at the same time, but here's my root chakra here. And
Yes.
you, Esther, it would be, and for some of you in the group, it's not just getting it to rise, but it's to come out a little bit and get wider. So we want it, yes, whoever's moving their energy, I can feel it more. Some of you, I never even introduced myself. I'll do that in a second. But I'm Dr. Sierra Levy, and I do energy readings, and I can read energy from Bar. So that's part of what, if you don't know who I am, that's part of what I'm seeing. So I'm a little bit psychically tuning in. I always do this with permission for those of you who don't want to be seen. I can't see unless there's an allowance or an energy of permission. But so for you, Esther, I'm going to do this again, but really getting it a little bit, I wish I had a better angle for you, but like getting it a little bit good, and also widening it side to side. Yes, yes, yes. And we want this wide channel to come up. Some people think that this Kundalini is just super small, like a tiny hair, but it can
No,
get
it's really
really,
big.
really big. Yeah. Yeah. So can you widen that for us so we can, good. Yeah. And again, I'm going to invite you to tap into her a little bit because she can help bump your Kundalini up as well. Good, good, good. Nice. So anything else on that? So for those of you who haven't tried already, make the Kundalini, even if you don't know what you think, you don't know what's happening, make it a little bit wider. And a little, good. It's starting to pump up a little bit. Because when we make it wider and bigger, it can start to flow up. Yeah, just like a seed in the earth, it'll be small and then it grows bigger. So good. Good, something else there. I'm just taking a look. So some of what we're doing right now is some prep work for later tonight. So we're waking up your channels, we're getting you more quote unquote enlightened, meaning some more light on the inside. And just a second, I'm just tuning in for the group again. And I know this will be broadcast later to, I have no idea where this will go, but I'm going to really focus on you all. I just want you to know that this transmission will definitely be a little bit more highly focused on you than the general population. So thank you for showing up and being live today. And we'll just make a prayer later that it goes out to whoever needs to hear it. Okay, so for this group, okay, your first chakras are doing pretty well. So that's the base chakra where like if you squeeze yourself so you're not going to the bathroom, then that's the root chakra. Some of you may not know where the root chakra is. So if you squeeze your bottom, then that's the root chakra. So the next chakra that this group needs to work on to open up for Maha Shivratri is this consciousness. So let's open up your consciousness a little bit more. So how we're going to focus on doing that is we're going to try to get it again a little bit more out. So yes, okay, move it and make this energy thicker. You can think of it as a golden energy. Yes, some of you are starting to move the energy a little bit more. I'm going to work on it a little bit more with you. And we're just going to spend a couple seconds. You want this energy up in your head now, or in this area a little bit. It's called your third eye as well. But you want it a little bit more out and a little bit more good. Some of you are moving. And I so appreciate those of you who are on, who know how to move energy, because you're helping the group. So again, thank you. And that's what Maha Shivratri is about. It's an individual journey, but it can help affect other people. So thank you so much for helping humanity. Good. Okay, that's better. So something else. So now what we want for this group is to come out a little bit more there. Okay. Yeah, making it a little bit more in this area. We're creating space. Part of what Shiva is space to move. So if we have space and we have energy, we can have really, really strong energy and Shakti and consciousness that comes together, which is part of what this night is. Yeah. But I want to make sure that your energy is running enough here. We got it about 90%, but I want to work on it a little bit more with you all. Again, with the intention for this Maha Shivratri day, the great night of Shiva, and we'll explain that more later, but that you're able to move the energy and also have your intentions met. So we're opening the channels, opening the energy flows, opening space, so that you can have more of the life and feel the life that you want to live. Feel the Shakti you want to feel. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to do something. So normally, sometimes I call on angels and sometimes I don't. So we're going to call on, and for those of you who believe in angels, to call on some angels to help move this energy, to completely wake it up and pull out any old energy, any old winter blues, things that weren't moving before. We want the angels to kind of create this space so you can more clearly see and feel what you want to feel and see in your life. Good. Okay, now your Shakti, that Kundalini circuit is running better in all of you. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, good. Good. Somebody noted that they're feeling vibrations from the root chakra up. Beautiful. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So part of Maha Shivratri, what we do, we'll keep working on this a little bit in the background, is we set intentions. And I'd love to play some music, but music isn't working. So, but if you take a few minutes and think about what intention, another way to say that for those of you who know Sanskrit is your sankalp. What sankalp, what intention would you like within your own body at this time? We're going to start with your own body. What intention would you like to have fed and also grow? So I'm going to have you can either put it in the chat, you can write it for yourself. I mostly recommend this as a self practice, but if you want to help enlighten anybody else, what you would like. Good. So psychically, I'm seeing you all setting your intentions, and the seed is looking so beautiful. Yeah, good. And let's give some air to your intentions. Let's breathe. One breath at least. Yeah. And then imagine water. I'll explain the water in a minute, but let's imagine water coming and watering your seed. Watering your seed. Watering your seed of intention. Watering the life that you want to live. For you, those of you who are biological geeks, this can also be cerebral spinal fluid is watering the plants. So cerebral spinal fluid can come down and help circulate and nourish the seeds. So it's the water in our body and our spine. Good. So you all are flowing. So you all are getting a divine transmission to help your Shakti flows, your energy flows. Good. Just taking a look. I would love a couple of people, if you are brave enough, to either unmute and tell us your intention or write. I'd love to see at least 2 intentions, because that actually might really help. Anybody? Okay, let's see. I see, okay, Bahawan. I don't know how to say your name, but yeah. Okay, yeah, please.
Well, I'd like to work on my health and wealth. That's my intention. And,
Health and wealth. Yeah,
yes,
beautiful.
and love and nurturing, I think was that. And others
Oh,
around me.
yeah, that's
That's
beautiful.
my intention, to kind of be in that abundant space for all.
I love that you said love and nurturing as well, because
Yes.
again, that's part of what we can do as a group is feel that, the love and nurturing, and send that out to the world.
For
So
self and others around.
yeah. So let's feel that and send that. And can you say it one more time to invoke it for the group so that we can do this as a group practice?
Love and nurturing for self and
Yeah.
others.
Yes.
And health and wealth for everyone and for self.
Anybody, can you hear when she says that love and nurturing? Can you feel it? You can raise your hand if you can feel it. Yeah, because it's truth. It's also truth. So part of Maha Shivratri is to get into the light of truth. So we'll spend a couple more minutes meditating a bit on this, sending love and nurturing, feeling it and sending it, and making it grow. So this is an opportunity to shed light and consciousness on what you want to grow. That's part of what Maha Shivratri is about. Yeah, good. So this one, you can either think about your own intentions or sending out the love and nurturing. So this one wants to be timed. I have to be patient. So I'll give it 2 minutes.
Shall I speak before we start?
Yeah, I get a yes.
Okay.
Where are you?
Yes.
Let me see you.
I'm Malini.
Okay, hi Malini.
Hi. Uh, I choose to achieve and feel the balance between the divine masculine and feminine inside me. And I
Perfect.
also, and my second thing is that I want to step into my femininity, because I feel that I'm a lot towards the masculine side.
Okay.
So I choose to experience what true femininity is all about.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you for that. Yep. And we'll definitely highlight that a little bit more later, the balance of Shiva and Shakti, which is also part of this, but there's something important about that. So part of, for this little group meditation that we're doing, we have the seed, again, which is more Shakti, because it's energy, and we have the soil, which is also Shakti. and we have consciousness, and we want the balance of light and some dark for things to grow, because the seeds don't, if it's exposed to the sun too much, it'll dry out and can't grow. So we need the seed, we need water, we need earth, but we also need the light of consciousness, the light of awareness, and all of the elements to be balanced so we can grow what we want to grow. So we can all ask for some balance, and not just within ourselves, but our environment. So we'll go into the environment in a second, after we do some more love and nurturing. So love, nurturing, feeling that in your body. Some of you need to love and offer nourishing to the parts of you that maybe were in the dark before, couldn't see, you didn't understand. Good. And again, part of what we do on these larger holidays is once we have it for ourselves, we send it out. So let's send out the love and nurturing. And that everybody's intention, as long as it's in alignment with divine order, the divine cosmos, Shiva Shakti balance, that everybody's sankalpa, their intention also gets nourished with their own life force energy, their own cerebral spinal fluid, so that they can come into full power. Beautiful. Thank you for helping everybody. And if you feel any blocks in your own spine, you can use your hands, take them anywhere you might feel any blocks, and just flush that out. Good. Moving, moving. Good. Okay, so we also have this desire for Shiva Shakti balance. Does anybody else want to mention goals that want to be worked on? Anything feel important to be verbalized to help with the group energy, moving things forward?
I want to make an intention to make a closure to major life cycles in my life, and also to make space for the new earth and the new intentions. I can feel a lot of energy since, especially, I visited Kumbh. I haven't been able to settle down because a lot of paths are coming up. So today I am doing this ritual, which already was planned, but then I happened to have this call. So I thought with a group, it makes intention a lot more stronger, a lot more vital for all of us. So for me, it's a lot about closure, bringing an end to a certain cycles, and also dissolving the duality of division between masculinity and femininity. That's been my that was my intention for 24 also, but I think it carries on for 25 as well. So that's the intention. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that in. I think that, again, so much of that will help other people hearing that. And for some of you who are in the waiting room who actually got the message, I did mention if you have a Shiva Lingam. I know many of you aren't on camera, and that's okay. But does anybody else have a Shiva Lingam? Shiva Lingam and water? Nobody. Okay,
Yes, I
that I
have.
see. Okay, you have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and I'm just looking intentionally. Great. Somebody else mentioned I'm setting an intention to align my soul values and help everyone. I'm going to say everyone times 10 with aligning with theirs, their soul mission. So we'll amp that up. Yeah, aligning with soul mission. We'll add that to the mix. So we'll just pause for a second and add the intention of helping everybody align with their soul values. Yes. Soul mission, soul purpose, soul growing, like the growth that really grows with your own soul. Yeah. Good. Okay. So for the Shiva Lingam, we've got at least one person there, and I asked to bring some water as well. And you had mentioned Neha. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. But Neha had mentioned that Kumbh Mela. And today is the last day officially of Kumbh Mela, where millions and millions and millions of pilgrims have come to Ganga to cleanse for, we could say, purification, to also let go of the old patterns. So for this group, again, we're going into the territory of letting go of the old and blessing the new. Why I wanted you to have some water, and you can even use the water on your own body, because within your own body, you have a Shiva lingam that goes through your body. It is a core of light. Some of you who've taken classes with me understand what this means even more. But this core of light, and it's called the Sushumna as well. So it's a Sushumna, it's a core of light. And if you scope out to the big picture, this core of light can actually go everywhere. But right now we're gonna scoot back into our own bodies if you don't have a lingam. And there's light that runs through us. And this light, specifically on the day of Maha Shivratri, Shiva shows up as an infinite column of light where there's no beginning and there is no end. So we're going to use Kumela, because I actually have some Ganga water from there. And I'm going to transmit the frequencies to you all with the special Ganga water to bless the Shiva lingam here, but then I will send the frequencies from here to you all. And then I'm going to ask you to bless yourselves, your own lingam, with some water, because I'm sure everybody has some water in their house. Absolutely positive. So I'm going to do it first with this beautiful water that came from the Ganga on very special days. I was there for 2 weeks, and powerful. But this is not about that. But it is about blessing with specifically Ganga water that was taken from the time. And it's nice and tightly packed for the airplane. And I'm getting some special water that really, I'm being very, very particular about how this water is used. And we're gonna bless yourselves now. If you have water, you can bless your third eye and ask it to open up. Good, you all have good intent. You all are working really well with your intentions. They're flowing. So beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Good. And now that we're clearing you up even more, anybody else want to share their intentions? Somebody wrote a note here. They say, I did a Shiva lingam abhishek, pouring water on it, meaning pouring water on the lingam. It was incidental and timely. My mom passed away a year ago, and it was her yearly ritual yesterday, according to Hinduism and charts. Just sharing to send, yeah, well, we can send the ancestors love too. When you feel yourself are filled up enough, we can send ancestors love. And thank you for showing me your Shiva lingam there. If anybody wants to take a look, there's another Shiva lingam there on the screen. But now what we'll do is I will also pour it over the Shiva lingam, but this again represents all of you with special sacred water, which is something we do on Maha Shivratri, is to get that nice and clean and blessed. So that has been done in the name of all of you, specifically with holy Ganga water, and I will send the frequencies of love and light from the time and Maha Shivratri, which is still going on now. But there's a deep cleansing process. And also where this water came from is it's called the Sangam, which has 3 rivers that actually are represent also the 3 rivers that meet here in the third eye. So as you bless yourself, let's bless you one more time. If you've got some water, take some water and put it here, because we're raising the Kundalini up. Good. You all are doing so good. Moving this energy. I feel it. Nice. Okay, good. Setting your intentions. So this water that we're using in this ritual here is also gathered from the place that has the Sushumna and has the Ida, which is the feminine, and the masculine is Pingala, and it's gathered where all 3 rivers come together. So yeah, beautiful. So I'm going back to that place energetically and sending you all a holy dip from that place, whether you received it in person or not, for those of you who didn't. So, but we can do it energetically to the holy place where this dip happens. Good. And now you can have the intention also that the Shiva Lingam clears your ancestors, for any ancestors that need clearing, and to be lightened up. And part of when the ancestors lighten up, some of their density can also get less. So that any obstacles or difficulties that might be in the field or your ancestors literally get lighter and can move on. Okay. And some of the ancestors also, we can ask them. So again, you've got a pillar of light in the universe right now. The sun is shining down to the plants and the plants are growing up and there's a continuous flow of life cycle. But we can also send the ancestors to the light so that their karma can be cleansed too. So I'm going to do one more cleanse on the Shiva Lingam for ancestors. That is being called for now. All I have to say is I'm really, really grateful that I went and got this water because it's come in handy for these things. Thank you, universe, for allowing my body to get there. And the ancestors for you, this group wants to cleanse the Kundalini part, wants to cleanse this part, the Kundalini, and also the Lingam of light. And then I'll cleanse the Yoni. And I'm going to talk about this in a second, this Yoni part. So cleansing ancestors, creating a clean lineage. For those of you who still want to bear children, to have children come into the world, may they also be blessed. And the Shiva Lingam. And may they also come into a world that's clean and clear for their consciousness. Yeah. And may your life in the now be clean and clear for your consciousness. Good. Okay. And also I'm going to clean the energy of this group wants me to clean the back of the, it doesn't want to be that way. It wants me to clean the, good. And also to raise your Kundalini here. Yeah, good. And remove any blocks, again, ancestor blocks, any ways you felt you couldn't succeed, moving that out. Good. All right. Good. So I'm going to give us a couple minutes to feel that. Again, I'm going to do a 2-minute, this one I'm going to give 2 minutes because Shiva also comes into silence. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to feel whatever's happening for you. Yeah. Tune in. And again, feel your Shakti, feel your flows. How are you feeling? But feel it within yourself. Good. And Shiva's tattva is also about space. It really allows some space around you. Get some space, breathe, move your Shakti a little bit. Mm. Did anybody find anything in the void of silence? Okay, so then the next step to take you to this beautiful group is we want to go up in our consciousness. So some people only are thinking here, but the energy is to come up here a little bit higher and feel what that might feel like. Actually, just tap into the energy above your head up here first. Yes, good. So you're expanding your consciousness right now, which is part of Maha Shivratri, the great night of Shiva. Good. And then once you tap into something, and you can use, some of you may be able to feel, some not, don't worry so much, but you can feel around, okay, where is the level up that I need to be feeling? Like if I go up, okay, there's something here. And then you just ask whatever this light is to be purified. So I'll pause on that. Whatever this light is up here to be purified, this consciousness, this pure light that is mine and that I am it. We want this light to come down. So for those of you ready, you can bring it down, but pure consciousness coming down into the body. Again, Shiva and Shakti meeting. Space with matter, space with the physical, lowering the densities so we can live in that bigger, brighter, beautiful world with more consciousness, more awareness. Good. So you can take a few more seconds, pull in what you need to from that greater consciousness. Yeah. Good. Looking good, people. So your energy is moving, which is beautiful. And I see one comment that I'll wait on, but I'm going to explain a little bit more about Shiva Shakti, because some of you are interested in getting that balance a little bit more. So again, this day, Maha Shivratri, is about the marriage of Shiva and Shakti, or Shiva and Parvati, where consciousness aligns with energy, and our energy becomes more aware. And one of the forms that Shiva has, some of you may or may not know this, but it's called, my Hindi pronunciation or is not so good on this one, but Ardhanareshwari. Ardhanareshwari. If anybody wants to help me, we'll say that better, please.
Ardhanarishwar.
Yes, this one.
Ardhanarishwar.
Thank you. So half an easier pronunciation of Shiv Shakti. And some of you want more balance with this. So part of the intention, and I guess I'm supposed to do the Shiva Lingam again. We're going to bless it with more water so that some of you can come more into balance with this. So we're setting intentions and I'm helping you move this energy today. So we're going to bless the Shiva Lingam one more time with the intention that your Shiva Shakti come into balance. So over the next few days, you really might feel some shifts in your energy from doing this work today. And where it wants to be blessed is exactly right on top of the Shiva Lingam. And what happens, again, some of you may be familiar with the symbol and some of you may not, is when you bless this up here, the part of the Shiva Lingam, many people don't realize that underneath the Shiva Lingam is a yoni. So right now the water has been caught here in the yoni, so I'm gonna Pour it on top of the, I gotta create a sacred base where this water's going. But we're gonna pour it on top of Kundalini, the energy, the life force energy that moves through your spine. So before we do that, let's move your spine a little bit more to get some energy flowing. Good. So we're gonna bless the balance of Shiv Shakti, Ardhanareshwari. Good. And again, I'm cleansing your spine, spinal column, spinal fluid. So this is also watering yourself for more Shiva Shakti flow in your own body. And at the base of this, for those of you who don't know so much, because some of this is education, so this would be the yoni. So whenever we say a Shiva lingam, people are thinking, oh, it's only this lingam part. Yeah, it's only male. But in order for a Shiva lingam to be complete, you cannot have this part, the Shiva, without the Shakti. So Maha Shivratri, we're saying it's Maha Shivratri in the same, in terms of only using Shiva's name, but because this is put on through of all beings, which also honors the feminine and the goddesses, I want to talk to you a little bit about things that have been misrepresented in a patriarchal culture. So you can truly have a very good Maha Shivratri and understanding that it's not just about a man or a god that's perceived as a man. And this is important so that people can realize this balance of the Shiv Shakti within, the balance of the masculine and feminine, the divine masculine and feminine within. Because if that happens, the divine balance between masculine and feminine happens within, and you always recognize when you use the word Shiva, that Shiva cannot exist without Shakti, or it's called a Shava, if anybody wants to help me with that pronunciation, it's a corpse. Without Shakti, then Shiva is a corpse. So it's important to remember that when you use the word Shiva, it always means that Shakti is equally as present. So within your own body, because oftentimes we've been programmed Shiva male, Shiva male, Shiva male, within your own body at this point, feel the possibility or what it would look like or feel like to have that divine masculine balance within. So we're going to give you a minute just to feel what that would feel like. Good. That's moving some energy for some of you. I can see more energy flowing through your spine. Beautiful. And this is going to give you empowerment for better feelings in the long run. Yeah, you're I feel most of you are just really moving this energy in your spine. Beautiful. Yeah. And then again, we want to think about the cycles of nature. So the sun helping the seedling grow, like the consciousness coming into the body, the warmth, the light, helping us grow. So whatever nature images you want to put in your body right now, that would be really helpful for Maha Shivratri, because this allows the plants within you to grow. The Sankalpa. Okay. But nature first. Let's think about nature and fill your body with nature. Also, we're going to fill your body with presence. And then again, wiggle back and forth to move your first chakra and maybe your second chakra. Your second chakra is underneath your navel. You want to get some energy flowing down there. Shakti meeting Shiva, creating movement, conscious movement. So let's really move your second chakra underneath your navel. It could be back and forth, however you want, circles. How good. And I want you to fill your own belly, even if you're in a male body, with the pregnancy of what you want. What would you be physically pregnant with? What do you want to fill your own body with? Some of you have already named it. Love, light, consciousness, waking up. What do you want to be pregnant with? Second chakra. even if it's for like a few minutes, 5 minutes of pregnancy. This feeling of what you want to birth into the world is important for Maha Shivratri. And feel into your bellies. You can put a hand there if that helps. And even if it's just a concept, whatever the concept is, and I'm going to encourage you to put in the notes, maybe what you're getting, or you can speak out loud. Nice. People's energies moving. Anybody want to speak what they want to bring more into the world at this point? This meditation? Okay. Quiet group. Tea. I'll give you another minute. I'm supposed to bless the lingam one more time, and then we'll probably bless you as well, but I had no idea this water would be used so much today. One more time. Bringing consciousness and light to your dreams, to your hopes, to lightening up the planet, to clearing your light channels within you, your consciousness channels. Good. Good. Okay. Good. So again, you can imagine water around you, and if you have water that you want to bless yourself with, you can touch anywhere you want to water and grow. Good, beautiful. Thank you all for doing that. I'm seeing on screen. Looks brilliant and light. Good job. Nice. Clearing some different chakras, throat chakra, clear communication. Oh, this is another story of Maha Shivratri that's reminding me to tell you in a second. But before I speak more, anybody want to share anything or you have any questions? Aw, more love for, yes. Yes, more love for everyone. Yes, yes, yes. And more truth, yes. Beautiful. Again, part of Maha Shivratri today, one of the big stories is Shiva shows up as an infinite, which we now know there's Shiva and Shakti together, but Shiva shows up as an infinite column of light. And this light is also about truth and only shining truth in the world. So for those of you who want to shine only truth in the world, I'm going to invite you to hold your heart and your this area of your head, your third eye, your consciousness. And we want truth and consciousness to meet, truth and consciousness and clarity. We're sending a little bit of this to the world too after this gets out into the larger world. And if the world could live more in truth, the Shakti will run more. Shakti runs in truth. Shakti runs in a current of truth. Good. And then for those of you who want to participate in the more love for everyone, I'm going to invite you to hold your heart and just focus for a second within yourself, either of love, just pure love, or focusing on sending that love even beyond your body. And I encourage you to think of sending love to somebody that you do love, even if they're not in your physical space right now, because energy does travel. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So just tap your heart a little bit. Let's get more love flowing. Shakti is also a heartbeat. It's a pulse. It's a spanda. Spanda means it's a fluctuation of energy, like again, a heartbeat or a pulse. So we're going to send some more Shakti in the world. Give yourself a tap anywhere you want to release any inhibitions, anything that's been blocking. This might help. Somebody mentioned that they were tired. We are doing a lot of work, but this might help release some of the fatigue. And also what releases fatigue, when we do a lot of this energy work, if you drink water, it can help your energy field too and help flush out toxins. But I was working on many of you before even this session. I was doing some intentional energy work, so a lot is being released for most of you here. So again, thanks for coming. Okay, something else on that though. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time left. And unless anybody has something burning to say, because if you do have something burning, I want to give you a chance to speak. And if not, I'm going to tell you some other things about Maha Shivratri and this special day. Anybody? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the significance of staying up late the whole night during Maha Shivratri?
So that's a really good question. And I'm going to answer that. So you're kind of talking to an expert. And I want to give you the expert thing first, and then I'm going to back into something else. But the expert thing is you don't need to do it because it's really the intention. So part of this in the world, when you have enough energetic competence, you have enough energetic willpower, some of the rituals you actually don't have to do physically. So to stay up all night is actually not necessary for enlightenment, or the process of if you stay up to midnight, around midnight until 1 in the morning approx. There's more specific timing. I think it's maybe 12:00 something tonight, but it's said that that's the time. But it's actually not true, because in the energy world, we don't need to do these physical things to make these things happen. So for those of you who are like, oh, I didn't get to the Ganga and la la la, I don't have moksha this lifetime, or I didn't do this ritual just right. It's actually not true on the energy frequencies. So in human terms, so that's kind of the bigger picture, but in this other picture, the importance is supposedly, the story goes, if you keep your spine straight, then kind of again, like when a plant goes from the seed here and shoots up towards the sun, then the erect spine, just like inside of our own body, like the seed, and the energy gets wider and can grow up. And there's no, it's so hard for me to talk on the human realm because it's so not true but I know the theory. If you stay up all night and you're sitting up straight and the spine is straight, then the energy can flow up because this astral alignment, blah, blah. But it's not true. It's really not true. So the most important things, if you're going to do anything physical, is to be in a comfortable position. It's kind of like also, Maha Shivratri is about giving your power back and recognizing that you are Shiv Shakti or Shiva, Shiv Shakti, in its ultimate power, which means you have choice over your life. You have control over your life. So part of it is just setting your intention of what you do want through your body. And it doesn't really matter when you do it or exactly how you do it. There's one caveat, which I'll talk about in a second. But just like everybody celebrates their birthday only once a year, every second is a birthday, every millisecond, every 10th of a second, we can be born anew. And that's part of the promise of Shiva Shakti. And we can be infinitely free at any second, regardless of any constraints. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's part of it. The only thing that I would have a small caveat on, and it's not even about Maha Shivratri, this is in general, if you want your Shakti to be free and you want your Kundalini to rise, being in a comfortable position, listening to your body and allowing your body to move is the most important thing. So that is part of like the dynamic behind actually allowing Shakti to flow. Yeah. So staying up all night, straight spine, maybe it's just not, it doesn't hold a lot of energetic truth, but it's a fun ritual for some people. So that's my opinion, but also energy research and also understanding how Shakti actually flows in the body. Yeah. But going with surrender and flow, being the most comfortable you can is actually the most important. Yeah. Make sense? Okay, cool. Yeah. And comfort can mean movement. A lot of people don't understand that. So if your body naturally moves it, but you're following your body, you're not following your head, allowing your body to move. Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any questions right now? We've got about 20 minutes. Okay.
Shiva,
keep
you wanted to
Yeah,
tell something about the throat chakra?
I
Because of
did.
the...
So thank you for putting me back on that.
Yes. Okay.
And there's a few more stories I want to get to, not stories, but cosmologies or mythologies. So I'm going to cover that one. But since you had asked about this straight spine, I want to there's something else that wanted to come through. What was that? One second. What I would have done, especially, and I wish we still had time. I don't think we found a way to get the music on through Zoom, correct? I don't think so. So I want to give you some homework to consider after, because one of the mythologies of this day is Shiva did something called the Tandav dance. And I'm gonna put that spelling for those of you who don't know how to spell that. I'll look this up. And I had a song. No, maybe I'll try to drop the song in the chat as well. Or Minal, maybe you can also do that. Tandav dance. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to type out 3 words. So, and maybe you can also give them the song that we were going to play. If you want to do this on your own after, or maybe we'll do it anyway with bad music. We'll see what we have time for. So, but it is a dance. This is a very important dance. This dance, there's different traditions that tell different ways to do this dance. And I'm going to give you the more complete picture. So this is a dance of destruction, preservation, and creation. So if I would have played this music for you all, the first thing I would have done, and this is about embodiment and allowing that Shakti to flow. That's why I'm tagging it on the straight spine question. So the first thing I've had you do is do destruction. But again, you can play the song and do this after. Again, maybe we'll have time. Or I can maybe, yeah. Okay, so why destruction? Because you want to pull off the old energy first. So if there's anything in your life that you didn't want, and maybe we can do a small little piece on this right now, because there's a couple of ways I can get this to move fast without the music, is I'm going to have you all tap in the inside corner of your eyes for a second. And you feel a block, but I want to do one more for the group. Underneath your eyes. This point underneath the eyes helps you metabolize old SHIT that you don't want anymore. And I'm going to have you tap your eyes for anything you saw that might be blocking you. Good. In your dreams. Okay, so in contact with Shiva, she was saying that's good enough. Good. So then what I would have had you do as a group, and actually reading the group now, I would do the creative piece. So first you would do destruction and then you would do creation. So what do you want to create? So what you would do for creation is mostly you want to move the energy up, just like the seed comes from the ground up. So you could tap, like let's tap, for example, for the group, either on your first chakra, your pubic bone, or your second chakra. So we're going to start like somewhere in that lower chakra, somewhere underneath your navel. Go ahead and tap and just put in any positive intentions you want, but doing it with movement. So you can move your body, you can tap. When you're listening to the song, you can also tap up or put in, use these hand motions to put in, I want to create, I want to create. So you're doing this Tandav dance that Shiva does to create. The dance is about destruction. Yes, thank you. And let's more create, for those of you who want to create with your heart, let's tap around your heart chakra. Good. So again, you can get a little bit of the flavor on what this, how this works for the destruction and creation part. Yeah. And then the last part is a little, but if you're doing it with the music, I think it'll make sense at the time, is preservation. So it's also a dance of preservation. So I'm gonna, okay, so I'm sending those three in case you need to write them down. But the preservation part is a little tricky, but it's more like, what do you want to preserve in your life? What do you want to keep going? So you can spend a few minutes during the dance. Okay, I want to preserve, let's say I want to preserve the love that I already have in my life. So but it will individually come to you during the dance and moving your body, what to put in for preservation. So also for those of you who feel like you have a wide enough energy field, you can put in some tapping or some energy movement. I want to preserve this for the world, meaning I want to preserve, you know, a lot of you understand, I don't want to name it quite yet, that the world is a little bit in blah, 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 trouble. So, but you can put in some, let the world be preserved in this way. So as you're dancing this beautiful Tandav dance, you can do the act of destruction first because you want to remove any blocks, and then the act of creation, and the act of what do you want to preserve for yourself or the world, or what do you want to bring more in, which is kind of creation, but maybe it's also what's called sustaining, which is, yeah, what do you want to see more of? What do you want to feed? Like maybe the plant's already growing, but you want maybe 10 plants kind of thing. Yeah. Make sense? Enough? Yeah. And it's this beautiful song for some of, I'm gonna attempt to play at least the beginning of it because most of you will know it. Yeah, I don't know how to come across sound wise, but so just getting rid of what you want to get rid of. Can you hear it? Can I hear it? No, okay. Okay, that's why we need it to come through Zoom. You can't hear it. But anyway, you can play the song as like do, 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 moving it out, moving it out. Okay, enough of that, I think. But any questions about that? Okay, good. Yeah, all right, that's that part. And it would have been a pretty strong component. So maybe you can imagine for a few seconds that we did a dance, we moved our Shakti. And the important part of this, again, linking into this whole question of sitting still with your spine erect, is you really move. So during we were dancing, we got rid of anything that needed to be destroyed, something that wasn't serving us, something that wasn't serving the world. And then we also feel into our aura, because most of you here on this call are energy sensitive in your auras, actually, which means the energy field around you. So you might do it for yourself, but then you would go into your aura and, okay, what needs to be destroyed or what needs to be destroyed on the planet? That is basically, destruction isn't a bad thing if you do it in divine natural order. So just like an apple might fall from the tree, that could be, and rotting, that could be considered destruction, but then it rots and it goes into the soil, and then it feeds the mycelium, which are the fungus that helps the whole forest, and then the nutrients can feed the tree again. So it's never, destruction is never truly a horrible thing if it's done in synchronicity with nature. And that's what part of Maha Shivratri is basically this holiday or celebration of saying, hey, consciousness, the sun is coming down and creating. And so anything with Shakti, which is energy, and anything that is no longer in service be shed. Like, for example, even on a seed, there's a hard shell. So that gets destroyed in the process of birth of the seedling. So that gets destroyed, but life force energy is eternal. Things come back. There's a flow of life. There's a flow of light. So things get preserved and or newly created, but there's always a stream of consciousness, light, and energy that is preserved. So it's recognizing this spiritual growth that's not only physical, but spiritual as well. An evolution of consciousness. Yeah, makes sense? Okay, cool. Okay, we have a few more minutes for, also, I did like this word, like the Tandav is a cosmic dance. It's not just about this planet or us as individuals, but this larger dance that's happening through this the cosmos of creation, sustenance, and destruction. Okay, so the other thing that I know that we wanted to talk about is the story on this day is when this throat thing. So part of what happened is that, and this relates to Maha Kumbh. So for those of you who don't know this story, I'll keep it brief, but for Maha Kumbh, this very special 6-week thing where millions and millions and millions of people came. I know I already said millions, but it's like pretty significant, like how many people on the planet have come to this, especially because this one happens only every 144 years. But you have been blessed with the water and the Shakti and the energy of this, because this energy can be dispersed. And so this, how Maha Kumbh happened is a little bit longer story, but there's a mountain, and on one side, the demons are pulling, and on the other, a snake, and on another side, the gods are pulling. And so they're churning the ocean, churning to basically get this pot of gold out. And this pot of gold represents something called Amrit, which is sacred fluid, which you all have in you. You have this sweet sacred fluid that's nourishing your pineal gland, which is the gland of enlightenment, nourishing your cerebral spinal fluid, helping things flow so you can create the life you want. But in this ocean, the gods and the demons were churning it to get eternal life so that they would never die, without realizing the metaphysics that they don't really die anyway, but that's another story. So, so they're churning. But part of what not only comes out is the Amrit, which is this beautiful elixir of life, nourishment for all life force energy. And then the drops got dropped in these 4 different places where Maha Kumbh happens, or no, excuse me, where Kumbh Mela happens, not Maha Kumbh. So these different drops fall into the earth, and then people go to get the Amrit again, to get this eternal life and moksha, which is liberation. But also what came out was poison. So, and the poison was going to destroy the world. So this, I'll tell the story and then we'll try to get to some metaphysics about it. But basically she was like, I am going to swallow this poison, because if I don't, there are consequences. So, meaning the world would get destroyed. So Shiva takes the poison, and the snake around his neck helps it not poison Shiva, but also that's when Shiva turns blue. So Shiva takes into his throat to save humanity what is considered poison. But what it feels like that story is actually saying is it's more about that any consciousness that doesn't serve humanity, Shiva can take into the void and make it pure energy again so that it no longer harms other humans. So that's what this throat story is. And I think it's important for us as humans not to swallow the toxins of the world. So I'm going to name that. And just to flow your Shakti, your life force, through your body And because that's energy, this life force energy is so important to your health and your vitality. So hopefully we've done some good work today to move that energy in your bodies and give you blessings for the future and for your future body and your future life. Yeah. Any questions? I'm going to check the chat. I think some things came through. Aha, okay. Looking. Okay. So, just looking at the time. So somebody asked about resonance therapy, which is light work. And yeah, maybe Evolved Beings will help me do something on resonance therapy, but it's basically working with eternal Shakti and eternal light and the light of truth to move energy in the body for health. So yeah, I actually have a lot of free videos online, and actually Anne and Anne is on as well. She is working on a book to get more resonance therapy out there in the world as a beautiful healing. Do you want to say anything about that, Anne? Somebody was asking about resonance therapy. Do you want to say anything? Oh, you're still muted.
I'm super grateful for having the opportunity to work on this book with you for many years. It's definitely changed my life, and I'm really eager to complete it and get it out into the world and giving it lots of the water from today. And thank you for preparing us and giving us all this energy even before we came on. And much of what you offer is explained in the book, and it's beautiful. And thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll come out soon too. Yeah. And let's see what else. Any other questions that are burning? We've got about 4 minutes if we're actually on time. By the way, somebody asked about Maha Kumbh, and Maha Kumbh was amazing. It was beautiful. It was Kundalini is one of the master energies in my life that I follow. And so I was again at the Triveni Sangam, which is the place where the 3 major nadis of Kundalini meet, at least as a reference point for how it works on the planet. And these 3 rivers, Ganga is I didn't mention the specifics before, but Ganga is the Ida channel, and Saraswati is the Pingala channel, the masculine. And then Saraswati, this hidden river, comes out here. So they all meet here at the Sangam. So it was just really special and very peaceful. I know there's a lot of craziness in the news and such of how that actually is, but I was there both on the water, and I noticed as I approached the Sangam itself, there was a great level of peace in the water and in the surroundings, even though there was all these media things happening, and also in the land, there was definitely a sense of peace at this point. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. Of course, there's a lot to share, Babas and all of those things, but it was a beautiful spiritual experience. Yeah, and I feel blessed to be there and bring back Ganga water for people. So I was able to bless a few people on the pathway who weren't able to make it. So I was grateful for that. And yeah, peace and spirituality, profound. Yeah. Okay, I see a couple more messages coming through. Let's see. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay. All right, there's some notes for you all if you want to see them, and appreciate it. And appreciate you being here in your presence. And hopefully I've enlightened you somewhat on what Maha Shivratri was, and freeing your bodies for more evolution and growth. Yeah. Thanks for being here today, especially for some of you who got up special early in America. Yeah, United States. So many blessings. All right. For those of you who need to go, you can go. I can stay a few more minutes, but thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your night. And also, I guess for those of you who are left, or again, midnight is a special time-ish from what we talked about. But if you are awake during that time, just allow the life force energy to flow through, and also clear your mind and your energy field of any obstacles or any debris. And thereafter, enjoy your freedom. Yeah. Thanks for being here, everybody. Really appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.